back. Over 20,000 people have been killed in Kaduna State in the many years of the crisis that has engulfed that state. And the most hit are 4 communities of Manchok in Kara local government. Just this week, 3 people were killed with many others wounded. It's a sad story there, and we've been looking at this issue for a long time now, and this morning we'll be talking about how can we find a lasting peace in Kaduna State, particularly in southern Kaduna. We have in the house this morning the district head of Tafan Kaguru, Chief Dom, Jema, Daniel Akai. Good to have you this morning.
Thank you.
We also have the Assistant National Secretary, Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association, Abdullahi Ibrahim. Good to have you here.
Thank you.
And we have a security expert, Mr. Ladi Thompson. Good to have you here.
Pleasure.
So this is a continuing issue, and we need to find a lasting solution. Lives must stop, killings must stop. And what, in your opinion, let me start with you, Chief Akai. What, in your opinion, is going on in Kaduna State, particularly in southern Kaduna?
Thank you this morning for me to be in your midst. My opinion, even since and long ago, our forefathers were living in peace with these cattle Fulani areas without any problems. Stand together, eat together, marriage even interwove. So it was just this recently that I can even describe like satanic issues that can come in between people. That is what called these bridges between us and them.
Between who are the us and who are the them?
Between the Fulani that were staying with them in Tafan district and Kaguru Chiefdom. As I've said, we live together, but henceforth, with these little matters that came up in the southern Kaduna part, that we saw them with some strangers that came. They say strangers, but a stranger cannot come to a place without people that are there. So we start seeing the wonder affecting us, burning our villages, especially like in my district. I have 11 village areas. 8 were all burned and destroyed their crops and land and everything. Even I personally, that I'm here being the district head of Tafan, my house was burned down completely. I thank God, Reverend Dr. Thompson, he came and he saw it lively, my house, the way he was burned down.
Okay, let me come to you. There's been a lot of, reasons given for this. Some people say it's about land grabbing. Some say it's about religion. Others, several reasons. Yesterday we heard it's politicians fueling this violence. You are the Assistant National Secretary of Miyetti Allah. What, in your opinion, is going on there?
Thank you very much. And I think I would like to thank channels. Since the beginning of this crisis, I've been following your reporting and your investigative journalism, particularly with respect to the issues in southern Kaduna. And I think you are the torch bearers of finding lasting solution for this problem. The problem in southern Kaduna, of course, has to do with religion. It has to do with ethnicity. It also involves politicians that want to capitalize on crisis in order to thrive in politics. But the southern part of Kaduna State has been experiencing crisis since 1987, Kafanchan crisis. But in all the crises up to 2000, we have been finding a way of sitting together with our neighbors because we inherited a peaceful southern Kaduna. We grew up and met people that love others. We met people that fear God, and we met people that are generally peaceful. So in all these crises that have happened, even though it affected our people tremendously, beyond description, because we don't go to media, but in all these cases, we find it most convenient to live with these people, to forgive one another and forge ahead. Then came the 2011 post-election violence, which happened sometimes in April, and then April happened to be the time, the migratory season of the migratory Fulani, because Fulani are into three categories. One, you have the settled Fulanis, that is we indigenous Fulanis that live in southern Kaduna for decades, we are there. Then you have the semi-settled Fulanis, those that move from one place to another, but not very far, maybe from Barikilla, the local government, in Plateau State. During the dry season, they will move into southern Kaduna, somewhere in Sanga or Plateau. Then you have the third category, which is transhumans, nomadic transhumans. They move from one place to another, sometimes from one country to another. And then suddenly, they were affected during those crises. To be very fair to these natives, it's very difficult if you don't know to differentiate between a settled Fulani and a transhuman Fulani, because all of them are Fulani, they speak the same language and they move with cattle. So those people were affected. After the 2011 post-election violence, we sat down with the governor. Thank God he happened to be from that area, Mr. Patrick Ibrahim Yakoa of blessed memory. We sat down with him and he said, I will not be a governor when my very place where I was born is burning. Let us find out solution to these problems, and we sat down. We started meeting, reconciling, even up to the point of signing MOUs and peace agreements. But with all that, after some few days, you record some pockets of attacks. And I personally started questioning our sincerity. Both parties, both we Fulani and these indigenous people. I started questioning our sincerity, because why should you go and commit yourself, sign an agreement, and then come back again after a day, you record crisis. So the governor called us again. I remember very well, it was during Ramadan. He invited me to Ramadan fast breaking, and said, Ibrahim, I'm still not satisfied with what we are doing. Please, what are we going to do to find the lasting solution to this problem? And I said, Your Excellency, we need to conduct some researches. And he said, can you do it for me? I said, I will. He said, how many days? I said, give me 1 month. He said, no, I will give you only 2 weeks. And I started. These are some of the findings. Number one, all the 3 classes of Fulanis were affected in those crises. Number two, there are 5 major stock routes, major international stock routes from our neighboring countries that pass through southern Kaduna. And we also realized that most of these villages where these reprisal attacks were happening were recorded along those international stock routes. And we returned with the report to His Excellency, and he said, okay, what do we do now? I say, Your Excellency, it's going to be tedious. We have to. The implication here, I want you to understand, is that what this revelation has shown us here is that even though we have been reconciling with these people, there are others who are not included in the reconciliation process. And maybe they were the people that were coming back and doing other things. They attack in the night, only for these natives to attack our people in the morning, and that is how it continued. So the governor said, what do we do, Ibrahim? I said, well, Your Excellency, we have established the routes where they passed through. We have also established the points and the villages where they were attacked. What we are going to do now is to follow those stock routes, find out who are the actual people that were affected in those areas. And we started with the route that started from Zonkua up to the Republic of Cameroon.